What's up, everybody? This is Mike here with Life with the McDonald's, and this week we're going to be going over Penne Alla Vodka in the RV. Not much will be different than doing it at home, but we're confined to the small space, so this week we'll be doing it in the RV kitchen. So let me start with showing you what ingredients we have to work with. So the base of this entire recipe is going to be the tomatoes, and this week we're going to be doing cento. I need Gabby's help with the pronunciation. Cento. San Marzano is in the can. Now, get your own tomatoes, make them yourself, get whatever jars you like. It's all open to you. This is a family recipe. Have fun with it. Do what you want. Experiment. But we're doing the cento, the barilla, penne. We're going to be using Parmesan Reggiano. I prefer Pecorino for almost anything, but this is technically what I've been doing for the past 5 years would be the Parmigiano. From there, we have garlic, a decent olive oil, Partana. I've never actually had this one before. It came recommended through a family member that said this is a very good, smooth, velvety, without taking over the flavors of the entire sauce. Parsley optional. I'm going to add it to this recipe just to try it myself. Basil, I like basil in any red sauce that I do. And finally, some red pepper and heavy whipping cream. Now, some people do enjoy putting onions in their recipe. I don't mind that. I do enjoy that as an American. I think that's more of something that we would do over an Italian recipe for a creamy or cheese sauce. Comment down below whether that's authentic to you and your family's recipe. But for me, if I'm doing a cream sauce, cheese or cream, I leave the onions out. There's going to be enough flavors kind of combating each other to begin with. And yeah, so let's start breaking this all down and getting the meal ready to go. I'm going to crush tomatoes. Or rather, I'm going to open this can of tomatoes right here. Crush them by hand. And then start chopping up some of the parsley and some of the basil. Now, like I said before, or rather, I guess I did not say this yet, Mike does not follow strict recipes almost ever. If you hold on 1 second, I tried to do one, and you're not going to see this on the video easily, but my chicken scratch shows my idea of what I want to do. And it's mostly just what is on the table, the measurements. I'll try to put them down below or in the description as we go, but I don't follow them. Gabby's more in tune with following a step-by-step basis. Me, I just wing it. Taste test, go from there. There's no right or wrong. It's cooking. It's fun. I'm not running a 5-star restaurant. I'm in an RV in South Dakota.
It's actually chaos. He thrives on the chaos.
You should see my Thanksgiving cookbook.
It's a disaster.
Reading that's like reading an Elder Scroll. I don't know how to explain it.
And then he makes like the best meal, and I'm like, cool. Did you write it down? Absolutely not.
No, it's a vibe. It's more of it's a vibe more than it is a lecture. All right, so we're going to start with right now is going to be crushing the tomatoes. So let me get my little handy dandy. Can't open it. Now finally, after years of cooking, making briskets, ribs, all that, crushing tomatoes, I can finally use some gloves. Oh. All right. Keep all the juices. There we go. In fact, one thing I like to do, we might not need it, but for a big 28-ounce can, I'll keep like a third of this little water here, get some of the little essence of tomato, and if I'm cooking a longer sauce, I'll add that to it as it dehydrates, but for this one, it's going to be kind of quick, so I probably won't need that, but it's there in case I do need that. Next, I'll just open the tomato paste. I'm not going to need much of this. You don't need the whole can. Oh, and there you have it. All right, so I have the tomatoes out, ready to go. I'm not going to crush them just yet because I have a few things I have to chop and dice up between the garlic, the basil, and the parsley. So I'll work on that, and then shortly we'll crush it up, and I'll get that added to the pan. So there's no exact measurement because this garlic clove overall, or the head of garlic, is kind of full of the big ones. So I'm doing 3, but to be honest, if you have a smaller or tinier one, you might not have the same amount of garlic per clove. So this is only 3 cloves of garlic, but to be honest, if you have a smaller head of garlic, this might be 5 to 6 pieces. And if you like garlic more than, you're probably not going to like garlic more than I do, but if you do, use as much as you want. We're having fun. We're making dinner. Do what you want. Do what's comfortable for you. So what I like to do, because I watched Chef Ramsay once in my life, is cut them down the middle, and sometimes you'll see a little core. It's hard to really see it probably on our camera, but on here, if you see it, it didn't really rip off well, but it's kind of green. It's almost like a rind. It might be a little more acidic, kind of lose some of the flavor, or take away some of the flavor by being overly pungent. If it's a nice fresh clove, you won't have to worry about that. It'll be fine. Like this one, there's no green. It's good. Let's cut off the little ends. So that's that. From there, it's chop as desired. I don't mind it being chunky personally, but some people like it. So it's really up to the cook. This is not finely chopped. This is kind of coarse. I could go a little bit longer, finely chop it. Me, I love garlic more than I love onions. So for me at this point, it's kind of alright for the vodka sauce, at least. And I also might not use all of it. It kind of depends on how I feel as I'm cooking. From here, I'm going to get some olive oil in the pan going. Crush up these tomatoes. And then start adding some of these ingredients together. Now, when it comes to hand crushing the tomatoes, you don't have to use gloves. I'm just doing it for the first time ever because it's just so much easier than having that stench on you. But all of the individual tomatoes, they will have a little end, like the rind. And you'll feel it as you crush them. It's just a little hard piece. You don't need to have that in the pasta or the sauce. But pretty much 4 or 5 squeezes, you'll get it all good to go. And just feel with those little hard pieces, which is the end piece of the tomato. So you could puree it if you want, which, sorry, there's a quad driving.
Yeah, sorry guys. The oven uses propane. The stove uses propane, so I opened the door and the window, but now we're getting sounds from elsewhere. But I think I'd rather have background noise than, die of propane, whatever that is, CO2
Poisoning. So from this point, you could puree it if you want to. I like a more rustic sauce. I like the texture. I like having some like beefy bits of tomato, garlic. If I'm putting onions in a marinara, sure, but I don't got to go much further than this. It'll break down as we cook and I smash it a little bit more. But right now we're looking good. So right now we're going to start with a little bit of garlic and olive oil. Don't mind me, I'm just getting some of the herbs ready. Which is where I'm going to finally try the oil I mentioned earlier. I've never had this before. Just came recommended as you'd probably find it anywhere in the States.
Who recommended it?
One of my buddies online.
Oh, so it wasn't your father-in-law from Venice?
No, it wasn't Paolo.
Wow.
That's not bad. I think you'd like that. I think you'd like that. Here's a little shot of that.
I don't really like taking shots of olive oil.
Good for your skin. It's supposed to be mellow, kind of attach itself to the cream and the sauce without being too overwhelming.
It's pretty mild.
So the oil's in there. All right. Let me turn this down a little bit because I really don't need it too hot. And now here's the age-old question. Do we add garlic and onion or just garlic? Today it's just garlic. Sorry guys, I'm trying to remember my regular recipes. You don't need garlic in everything. That's what Dad always said.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah.
Ooh, you hear that sizzle?
The garlic is a very, very quick cook. So right now we're going to get the tomato paste into this. Now, I said I apologize in advance for measurements. My measurement for tomato paste for a 28-ounce thing of canned tomatoes is going to be a teaspoon rubbed against the edge. A little bit of overlap.
That's a tablespoon.
Yeah.
You're good. It's okay. That's why you have me.
And now watch this. Remember I mentioned a little bit of extra sauce earlier? For that, it just cools it down because we're cooking in a camper right now. So this little burner, even on low, is warmer than it would be. I'm just trying to keep the pan from being too overheated. It's on low heat now, and it's still radiating that much heat.
Toss in all your tomatoes.
Yeah, so some people, you could put the vodka or wine in before that. Because of the heat that's generating for this pan in this small space, I'm not going to try to chance a flame as much. So I'm going to roast the tomatoes, and I'll add the vodka or wine, whatever you decide, in gradually. I've never actually had an open flame like flambeing with cooking with alcohol before. But in this small space and seeing how hot this small 3-burner gets on propane indoors, I don't want to chance it too much. Ultimately, I don't think the flavor's ever been too different where you add the alcohol to this. Now, some people put it in with the cream at the end. I've tried that once. It didn't curdle, there was something weird about it. I like to put it with the vegetables as they go in, whether it's before or with the tomatoes. It'll burn off, what's the word? Disperse some of the flavors without overcoming the flavors. It kind of just gives everything a stronger essence, and that's the best way to explain it in my cookbook.
Mike's terms.
Yeah.
You didn't mention it earlier, but what kind of alcohol are we using tonight?
Tonight is 2 small bottles, I guess like personal bottles, of whatever vodka you want. You could do cooking wine. Cooking wine I like more personally with seafood. I've only had it a couple times, and I didn't like it outside of that realm. But you might like it. This is just cheap vodka. Nothing special. People say, like, cook with wine you would drink. That's just to enjoy the wine that you have with you. If I'm going to cook with wine, I'll use cooking wine. But this recipe is vodka sauce. It's supposed to be a little bit more pungent. Express the flavors a little bit more. So we'll see if that continues. I've used them all, man. Just not cooking wine. That's kind of, or I don't support the cooking wine as much as the others. All right, where was I at?
What are you doing in the back one?
All right. So right now it's not completely on the burner because the sauce takes a much larger pan. Like I said, we're cooking in a camper, so it's a little bit different. But I do want some heat to start generating. All this is water, and I put salt as desirable. I probably put, I don't know, 3 tablespoons of salt in there. I like to salt my water when I make pasta. I think it helps with the overall texture of it, and also gives it just a baseline flavor that helps absorb any sauce that you put into it.
3 tablespoons? That's a whole coffee serving.
For 1 pound of pasta? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I just do a couple shakes, but that's good to know.
I like to know I could taste it on its own. So while the sauce is going and slowly simmering, I'm just going to shave some Parmesan. Nope. When that happens, that's just more fun. It means I could do this, and then when I run out of space, I have a chunk of Parmesan to enjoy.
And a chunk of your finger.
Yeah. Oh, this one's actually really brittle. All right.
Listen, you know it's authentic because it says Zanetti Formaggio. It's in Italian.
Alright, that'll be good for our purposes now. If we want to add more later, And also, sneak a little treat. It tastes Italian.
I'd say that's about 2/3 a cup
Yeah,
to a full
roughly.
cup.
Roughly. Now, I don't know if I'll even use all that, but it's there. And if we don't use it here, we're just going to snack on it anyway.
What are you doing now?
Right now, I'm just cutting up some parsley. They didn't have the Italian parsley I like a lot. Now, some people swear on parsley. I don't think it has enough of a flavor on its own, but it gives a nice fresh fragrance towards the end of the cook. So I'll probably throw some of this in as we're going to be ready to serve it. I'm being picky now, so I'm taking all the stems I see out. You don't have to do that. It's really up to you. The stems have a more bitter flavor, but some people like that, and if you like that, by all means, keep them in. Now, what Michael really likes is basil. So, with the basil... Oh, hold on. I'm going to cut off a few leaves. These will be for later, just to serve. I'll put them on top of the pasta. The rest, I'll take half, keep them to the side. I am going to cut up a little bit of it. So I'm going to throw this in the sauce here momentarily when I throw the vodka in. Let me know how you guys feel about that. I think it tastes great when you simmer it. It kind of breaks down the flavors a little bit. And you don't have to be too crazy. I like to keep it nice and thick. So if you look here now, the sauce is simmering nicely. It's on a low medium heat. Your cooktop might be different, so the biggest thing is if you're not trying to rush it, keep it on low medium. You're going to be adding a lot of different variables to the sauce.
You want it to be like simmering but not boiling?
Yes. So this sauce can be made in like 10 to 15 minutes. Right now, as we try to film it, especially me practicing doing this on film, I'm doing it all a little bit slower so nothing burns, nothing gets ruined. I don't want to waste the ingredients. I want to still have a very good dinner. So where was I? Okay, yeah, here we are. So before I add any greens, I'm going to now add the alcohol, whether you chose wine or vodka. Do it slowly. I don't think this is going to spark up into any kind of flame. Be safe. Do it slowly. This is about half a cup, more or less. Now, this is for a 28-ounce can of tomatoes. If you have a smaller jar, smaller can, cut it down. And if you don't even want to use it, you don't have to use it. It only amplifies the flavor to your palate. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit, because I do want that alcohol, this scent, to actually wear off. Once you get it boiling, the smell of the wine, the vodka, the alcohol, you'll smell it pretty strong for the first 30 seconds. It will dissipate, and then you'll start smelling a more like earthy or aromatic, like tomato, garlic, whatever you threw in is going to be amplified a little bit. Some people don't like to throw their basil in during the cook. They want to put it in after. I'm kind of a fan of both. I like basil. I can eat that as a salad, to be honest with you. But I throw a little bit in, just like a small handful. Like I said, roughly chopped during the cook now. It'll wilt, of course, but you'll get some of that fragrance, that essence. Today, one thing we're not doing, I'll blend this sometimes. If you have a little blender in your camper, by all means, like cook this for 2 to 3 minutes at this point. Take it out or take portions out and blend it, a bullet blender. Add it back in, that's fabulous. We're doing a quick cook in the camper. We're not doing that much work right now. Alright. The alcohol smell has withdrew, so I'm going to turn the heat down again because I have a few other things I have to work on while doing this. Alright, because I'm using a big pan, there's a lot more surface area. So a lot of the water and the moisture is evaporating. Now I don't want that to get to the point where it's too dry, where it burns the bottom of the pan. So earlier I did say I do a little thing where I put whatever the can I'm using, I'll put half or 1/3 of the can, I'll put some water in, just shimmy it around and absorb some of that residual tomato sauce. This is cooking pretty fast even on low because it's a big surface area and open flame. So I will add a little bit more of this tomato water, tomato juice, just to keep it going while I continue preparing. If you ever put too much salt in or too much of any ingredient, this is a way to kind of counteract that without taking away from that nice tomato flavor. Just keep in mind, if you put too much in, you don't want to water down the whole recipe, because then you're just having, I don't know, tomato water soup. So the sauce overall has been simmering for, I'd say, roughly 10-12 minutes. At this point, I'm going to take the penne. Now this is going to be very brand dependent, but the Barilla, for al dente, 11 to 12 minutes. I've already had on the back burner this pot of salted water going. So in about a minute or two, it'll be rumbling. I'm going to add, for us, probably just a half of the box, and then whatever sauce is left over, we'll jar it. Make more sauce than you need. One, you might want to just dip breadsticks in it. Two, you can just put it in another jar, save it for later. Especially pickle jars that you clean out so it doesn't taste like pickle Alla Vodka.
Hey, I clean my pickle jars.
Hey! We're still waiting for that water to come up to a boil. The alcohol is cooked off. I added a little bit more of the tomato water, as you saw. Now here, you could add this earlier or later if you want. I'm adding it now after the vodka kind of goes away because I don't need a strong hot red pepper taste. Right now it'll kind of mellow out with the already ingredients that are in there. But I do like a little bit of spice. I think Gabby likes a little bit of spice. You could withhold on red pepper. It's like a Bob Ross painting. Do what you want. Do what you feel comfortable with. Do what you enjoy.
I was going to say your mother-in-law definitely would not do this with any red pepper flakes.
No. But I like a little bit of heat. Nothing crazy. But this will give it another little layer to the sauce. It's a very simple sauce.
Mike, do you know what esperienza di familia means?
The experience of the family.
Yes, good job.
Guys, I'm a gamer. I do play Assassin's Creed. So I've been in Italy. The water is boiling. We're using a smaller pot. I'm not going to use the whole box. I could eat the whole box. But we're going to ration this and be adults.
So proud of you.
So I'm putting 2/3 of this 1 pound box in. And here's where we're going to lose some viewers. This little saucy spoon. I don't care. Quick spin. Quick spin, a little tomato juice. Doesn't matter. It's alright. A responsible adult at this point places a timer.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
So the timer is set. So the pasta is going to take roughly 10 to 12 minutes depending. We like ours al dente, so honestly, we might undercook it a little bit, then just toss with the sauce as we get ready to eat dinner. But while that's going on, we still have the red sauce to worry about. From here, I'm not adding the cream until the very end because I don't want to cook down and curdle the cream or whatever you would say happens. I am, however, going to add some of the cheese and the parsley because I think that's going to help it melt down and meld into what I want the whipping cream sauce to be. And as I said earlier, this is what, 2/3 of a cup? I'll do it little by little. This is really to your palate. And this cheese has been sitting out for probably like 30-40 minutes, so it's kind of soft as is. I wouldn't recommend taking it directly out of the fridge. This is a big clump, so I'm going to just put it to the side to snack on. Let it get, not maybe fully room temperature, but softened. It'll cook just a lot easier. You don't want to cool down the sauce anyway. You're already going to be cooling it down when you add that heavy whipping cream. At the same time as I'm adding the Parmesan, or if you're a real hero, pecorino, you can start adding some of that parsley in. If you want it to be more fragrant and fresh, add it at the end. For my purposes right now, I kind of want to have that earthy essence. It'll complement the basil a little bit and draw out some of that acidity. Last little pinch of Parmesan going in. The rest we'll save till later, because honestly, it's going to be creamy enough with the heavy cream. And at this point, you can make a decision. You can leave the sauce as is, wait to add the heavy cream right before the pasta's ready. Or you can add a tad bit of butter or olive oil. For today's purposes, I think I'm going to do olive oil. Because to be honest, we've had a lot of butter and bread today. So not that it's anything different, it's still fatty. But keep this to the side, and as the parsley and the little bit of remnants of the cheese cook down, just a little drizzle. Nothing crazy. You don't have to do that. I think it helps give it a more velvety texture. I'm not a chef. I don't know how to explain it to you in ways that make too much sense.
Should you also stir the pasta?
Yeah, when I get there. Yeah. We use a different spoon this time, only because the pasta is its own entity. This brings me back to a conversation we have not had. I don't know where this happened in my childhood, but my parents or my mom's side thought you should add olive oil to your pasta so it doesn't stick. It separates from the water anyway, so some salt. It helps flavor it, give it a nice natural, nice base, and it doesn't stick as long as it's boiling regardless. Just get a decent quality pasta. If you get cheap pasta with the fillers, you might have a different experience, but it should not conglomerate. And always go towards al dente rather than overcooked. If it's al dente, you could just add some sauce, some butter, some water, finish the pasta. When you overcook it, you're just making some wet bread, matzo ball soup. Nah. And that's what you like to see, a nice rolling boil. Keep an eye on it. You don't want boiling over, especially when you're in an RV. Anything that happens in a house is 3 times worse than an RV. That boils over, it's on the floor. The floor right here is 1/4 of my living space. The dog's rolling it. Loki just burns. He's on fire in the woods. Every possible issue that could happen is 3 times worse than an RV. So try to keep it controlled. We have a decent kitchen with our layout.
We have a rear kitchen if you've never seen our RV before. But this is what happens when you cook in it.
I'm going to add a little bit more parsley because it's here, and what else am I going to do with it at this point? Never be afraid to use parsley. It's really never too much. Basil, maybe, but I'm a basil lover, so I'll never be upset. When it comes to like cheese, wines, vodkas, yeah, that makes sense. But when it comes to basil and parsley, just throw it in. Who cares? It ain't going to ruin it. It's going to taste more fragrant. Cilantro, maybe it's different, because I like cilantro. I think, babe, it tastes like soap to you?
Yeah, I think I'm not. Cilantro's the one I really don't like.
Yeah. Remember how earlier I said you probably don't need this? I'm realizing quick with this very wide pan. You can use a smaller one like the one we're using for the pasta. This wide one, a lot of the moisture is releasing rapidly. And we don't want it to be too dry. If you put any water into it, try to use some of the tomato sauce. If you have to add some tomato paste, that's fine. If you have to add salt. You realize I've not used salt yet. I know the cheese is salty. I know the water and the pasta is salty. So I'll kind of let it naturally develop and add salt as needed. If I was making like a bolognese with like sausage and all that, typically I'll just wait until the sauce is almost ready and then add salt as desired. Because once you oversalt it, it's very hard to come back with that without doubling the recipe. And it sucks when you're doing that for a 2-person meal. You're like, wow, we're making 4 pounds of pasta because I added salt to my bolognese. One thing I will add now, I know I put the red pepper in, and this is another preference point. You don't have to do this. I like the zest, would that be the word? So if you have fresh cracked pepper, that's what we have in this one, but we don't have the little pepper shaker anymore in the RV. Just a little bit. It's not hot. It just gives it a little spice. Different than the red pepper flakes. It gives it a aromatic.
More
essence.
flavor?
Yeah. Wait till I make my cacio e pepe recipe where I'm just stressed for 3 ingredients. And you're like, Mike, it's so easy. I'm like, is it? Is it easy? So a big thing is, this is a small pot. It might be overloaded with pasta. After you get like a halfway cook, you don't really have to keep a lid on it anymore. You can, but at this point, I don't want it to boil over while I'm doing other things. By other things, I mean figuring out how to clean the war zone I have going on. The last little bit of cheese is going in because I'm about to add the heavy cream to the sauce. Once you see a majority of it floating, that's usually a good sign. Now it's hard to probably see on the camera. Oh, I lost one. So it should be kind of like almost translucent. In a way, on the camera it might look like the same color, which is kind of what you want. You don't want dark yellow though. Once you see dark yellow, it means it's probably undercooked. This one looks fine to me.
If it's dark yellow, it's under or overcooked?
Dark yellow under, it'll be more, I guess, opaque would be the word. That was good. So I think we're ready with the pasta because it's going to finish the cook with the hot sauce rolling as we cook it.
You want me to hold the drain while you do it?
Let's see. Probably. Oh, hold on 1 second, homies.
What?
Forgot a big thing. It's salty. It's starchy. You might not need it. Get a little thing of pasta water. It's kind of the same as when I had the the tomato water. You might not need it, but if you do need it, you don't want to dry out your pasta and then your sauce isn't ready. I don't think I'm going to need it for this recipe, but you know, it might help if you have a too thick tomato sauce or a ragu. It might help you. So kind of our situation right now, while the sauce is still being ready, just a little bit of that pasta water. It's going to absorb it. It's not going to become mushy. But I'm going to put it on the burner that I'm not using because I don't want to dry out the pasta at the bottom. If you have a bigger 6-burner kitchen, God bless you. It makes things so much easier. Alright, now the sauce is almost to completion. I have not added salt yet, so I'm going to do a quick little taste test.
Before the cream?
Before the cream, yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's salty enough. Of all the things I've done, this is probably the one where measurements are really, really up to you. Some people like the bare minimum. Some people won't even do the cream. They'll put butter. I put some olive oil. I'm not going to do the butter. The cream is, do you want to be kind of spicy? Do you want to be very, very mild and almost like a... What's that meal we like, the Eastern European one?
Chicken masala?
No, similar, but the one you use cream with, but it doesn't matter. Do a little bit at a time. You don't want to change the temperature and vary it too strongly. I like to put the extra red pepper flakes in earlier because I'm going to put probably more cream than some people like while maintaining the heat at the same time. Now, once it's tossed in, stirred appropriately, you could add more. Just don't add too much at once. When you start cooling it down, you're messing with that little fine line of food temperatures that there's no reason to do that.
So how much total out of that are you putting in personally?
Let's see, this is 1 pint, so I'd say half or 8 ounces is what I'll do. You might like more, you might like less. Start with little bits at a time and go from there. Taste test it. It's your canvas. It's your food canvas. I'm going to add a pinch of salt. It's a measurement. It's real. It's a real measurement. You do a little pinch and just toss it in the background, and it's a pinch of salt. So, a couple shakes. This is a very small shaker. Barely comes out. So, a little bit at a time. You don't want to do too much salt ever. And I think we're about done. All I got to do is toss the pasta. Yeah, we're about there. So, I could turn this off. There's a lot of residual heat going on. In the meantime, I'm going to get some more of this cheese going because I know I'm going to put a clump of this on the pasta to serve. This is really soft. Woohoo! We made a lot more sauce than the pasta we have. And we're going to eat all this between tonight and tomorrow morning. So honestly, I'm just adding the pasta, or adding the sauce to the pasta. I don't want to put this pasta in here, and then it absorbs and congeals a lot of it, and then you lose a lot of the flavor because of the ratio of pasta to sauce.
And then your pasta's soggy.
Yeah. Now you might have better tools for this. And that's fantastic. Now, if you don't want to go traditional, and you want to just, be a cowboy in the kitchen, add some pancetta to this. Get a little pancetta to the top. Who's going to say no? Guanciale, maybe? The world is your oyster. Cooking is fun. Never let them know your next move. Just have a good time. Make some pasta. As you can see, I added a bunch of the sauce to the already cooked pasta. So it absorbed a base layer of sauce and flavor. So this is fine to serve as is. But give me just a moment. I know me and Gabby are thinking the same thing. You can always do just a little bit more. Let's get the little topper. Maybe a little other scoop. This is where you have bread, homemade bread, crostini. Now look at this. Some Parmesan or Pecorino.
Wow.
Nothing crazy. A basil leaf. It'll do all your dreams. And this has been cooking Penne Alla Vodka in a camper. Thank you guys for watching. I know it's not the most crazy cooking video.
I gotta try it first.
That's true. Let's get the taste test going.
Here.
Lie to them if it's bad.
I'm sure it's delicious. Pray that it's delicious. I know it's gonna be. Yep. Always slaps. Always slaps.
Always keep spare sauce to dip bread in.
I gotta say, buon appetito, piatto pulito.